do too. It's a great day to be me because I am not Donald Trump. That guy has got a lot of problems. First of all, the Jeffrey Epstein scandal just won't kill itself. And we might have a hint why Trump hasn't been that eager to release those files. Because according to Senator Dick Durbin, back in March, 1,000 FBI agents were put on 24-hour shifts to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records and instructed to flag any documents that mentioned Donald Trump. That is a suspiciously Herculean effort. Okay? All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't hide who Dumpty humped with his friend.
It takes a special kind of spectacle to get Stephen Colbert and Jasmine Crockett in the same lane. And Donald Trump provides it daily. The Oval Office turned into a reality show set, a rally stage, and a casino floor all at once. Colbert sharpens the satire, Crockett piles on the fury, and together they drag Trump into a spotlight so bright it exposes every fake crack in the painted gold veneer. What follows isn't just commentary, it's demolition with style.
The president was buddies with a pedophile. On Friday, the Wall Street Journal dropped an absolute bombshell. They are reporting that in 2003, Trump sent a birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday that was sexually suggestive. Yeah, it's the most inappropriate birthday gift since Carvel debuted Fudgy the Hung Like a Whale.
Colbert wastes no time reducing Donald Trump's presidency to a running gag. He paints him as a man who mistook the Constitution for a pitch deck, as if the Founding Fathers were auditioning for The Apprentice. With every segment, Colbert shows Trump's leadership is improved comedy without wit or timing. Press conferences become blooper reels, each answer a bad punchline even the laugh track would reject. The absurdity piles up until the joke tells itself.
According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump's letter featured several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with heavy marker. In the drawing, a pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic. Do you know what that means? That means Donald Trump has drawn pubic hair on every executive order.
If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Jasmine Crockett doesn't just joke, she prosecutes. She dismantles Donald Trump with lawyerly precision, exposing contradictions like she's presenting evidence to a jury. She reveals how Trump thrives on chaos, using noise to cover the silence where substance should live. For Crockett, he's not strong, he's terrified of irrelevance, clinging to outrage like driftwood in a storm. Every word cuts like cross-examination.
We know that there are even young ladies that said that they were sexually abused and or sexually assaulted. We know that this is someone who has been found liable of sexual abuse by a jury of his peers. So, I mean, this is also a guy who seemingly doesn't really necessarily care if somebody engages in these types of activities. So I know he's got something to hide.
Colbert digs into Donald Trump's obsession with image, the endless photo ops, the Bible held upside down, the imaginary crowd sizes. He skewers the idea of legacy by showing it already exists as America's longest-running joke. Trump doesn't build history, he stages reality TV moments. The grandeur always collapses into slapstick, and Colbert makes sure the laugh lands every time. Even the props can't save the performance.
As strange as that sounds, the typewritten part of the letter is even stranger because it appears to be sort of a short, creepy screenplay between Trump and Epstein that goes, voiceover, there must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey.
Crockett layers in the political sting, highlighting Donald Trump's hollow promises. He plays savior at rallies while delivering little beyond slogans, hashtags, and lawsuits. Every big win collapses into a half-finished project or a headline waiting to explode. Crockett reminds us that Trump doesn't lead with vision, he leads with volume. He drowns out critics by shouting louder, a trick that works on stage but fails in the history books. In her hands, the emperor's costume looks even emptier.
On, say, getting the Epstein files. Like, we know that y'all know how to move, clearly, because y'all done called in the FBI and everybody else trying to go after not pedophiles, right? Because we know that seemingly the commander-in-chief has a soft spot for pedophiles, because next thing you know, we know that Ms. Maxwell was transferred to a cushier existence in a federal penitentiary system, right? But now you want to go after lawfully elected people whose constituents are not upset with them at all.
Colbert pivots to Donald Trump's love of chaos, calling him the only president who could turn a national crisis into an open mic night gone wrong. He mocks Trump's rambling speeches circling like a GPS stuck on recalculate with no destination in sight. Crockett follows by hammering his fragility. A man obsessed with winning but incapable of admitting a loss is not strength, it's weakness dressed in bravado. Together they peel back the mask to reveal a nervous performer terrified of silence.
Think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Wow. That is not only weird and creepy, that is pure absurdist dialogue.
Together Colbert and Crockett hit Donald Trump from both sides. Colbert makes him ridiculous, a bad improviser, mistaking riffing for governing. Crockett makes him dangerous, a courtroom villain thriving in distraction. The 1-2 punch leaves nothing standing. Trump's presidency isn't a monument of strength, it's a gag stretched beyond its punchline. Wrapped in gold but hollow inside, the image collapses with every jab. And the audience roars at the wreckage.
Plus, now a lot of other stuff from Trump's creepy past is resurfacing, like this clip of Trump on the Howard Stern show back in 2006.
Do you think you could now be banging 24-year-olds?
Oh, absolutely. I have no trouble.
Would you do it?
I have no problem.
Yeah, do you have an age limit, or would you?
No, I have no age. I mean, I have an age. I don't want to be like
upper bracket, yeah.
Foley with 12-year-olds.
Wow. That is not a great answer. That's one of those questions where you don't want to leave any ambiguity. So, would you have sex with an animal? Certainly not a horse.
Crockett goes after Donald Trump's victim complex, painting him as the complainer-in-chief. For a man who brags about toughness, he whines like it's a full-time job. She roasts him as a president who turned grievance into a political brand, an endless pity party where he's always the guest of honor. Colbert twists the knife with his sitcom analogy, the same catchphrases, the same reruns, the same stale routine. Together, they show a fragile ego collapsing under the weight of repetition.
To that, I know that there's been some conversations about what's going on in LA, and they want to say that it's riots because they didn't want people to keep talking about, say, the Epstein files or whatever other drama was popping off between the president and his little friend. So they wanted to change the conversation to immigration because they feel like, well, the polling is in our benefit. But let me tell you something. If they cared about making sure we were going to be fiscally responsible, they would tell the American people that it cost them $134 million to send the National Guard to LA for the quote-unquote riots that the governor didn't ask for, nor did the mayor of LA ask for.
Colbert reduces the myth of Donald Trump to rubble, while Crockett shreds his contradictions with courtroom clarity. What's left is not a leader commanding respect, but a showman addicted to validation. The roast captures the chaos, theatrics, and fragility in full. Trump isn't remembered for power, but for panic, a fragile ego wrapped in fake gold. The reruns keep playing, but the audience has already moved on to laughter and disbelief.
Even MAGA is demanding answers. 11 congressional Republicans have said they will join Democrats to vote to release the Epstein files. That would be a majority of Congress. So, in response, today, Speaker Mike Johnson shut down the House until September to block a vote on the Epstein files. It's a common parliamentary maneuver known as... You cannot blame Trump and his allies for being scared here, because the more we know about Trump's relationship with Epstein, the more we wish we didn't.
The brilliance of Colbert's approach is refusing to let Donald Trump escape ridicule. He skewers the absurd rallies, half rock concert, half therapy session, all embarrassing. The same chants, the same lines, the same hollow spectacle. Crockett builds on that, showing the cost. Trump doesn't build loyalty, he builds dependency. His followers aren't cheering achievements, just recycled slogans. Together, they expose the trap: applause without substance, noise without progress.
in this story is that soon we may be able to see Trump's name in those files for ourselves, because last night, in defiance of the president with a Republican majority, the House Oversight Committee voted to subpoena all documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein case in a vote of 8-2, as in...
Colbert dives into Donald Trump's obsession with crowd size, poll numbers, TV ratings. He paints a humiliating picture of a president hunched over his phone like a gambler refreshing slot machines. Crockett keeps hammering, pointing out his endless reinvention of reality. But reality always wins. His legacy isn't resilience, it's denial turned into parody. The more he spins, the more absurd he looks. And the more their roast cuts to the bone.
Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times. Now, that doesn't mean he did anything illegal. But it's not a great look when you fly on the pedophile's plane enough times to earn diamond pervert status. Don't go in the lounge. Don't use the lounge. Some of his allies are actually defending those trips. Tennessee representative and cover star of Tell Your Mom I'm Doing Great magazine.
Colbert milks the denial theme for comedy gold, joking about Donald Trump's superpower rewriting history mid-sentence. Every story ends with him as the hero, every failure magically someone else's fault. Crockett sharpens the hypocrisy angle, exposing the elite lifestyle of a man who claims to fight for the people. Together they strip him down to the con. He doesn't represent the working class, he exploits them, packaging anger as product and selling it back as loyalty. The courtroom verdict is merciless.
Deal about how he broke off the relationship with Jeffrey Epstein a long time ago. But according to Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein, Jeffrey said he stopped hanging out with Trump when he realized Trump was a crook. Wow! That's extraordinary. Amazing. Jeffrey Epstein breaking it off with you because you're a crook. It's like walking into an intervention organized by Rudy Giuliani.
Colbert leans fully into the con man image, mocking Donald Trump as a carnival barker selling outrage like cheap tickets. He points out the endless promises, the branding of grievance, the merch table politics. Crockett closes with a gavel-like summation: this presidency was never a triumph, only a cautionary tale. The combined punch is brutal. Colbert mocks the absurdities. Crockett exposes the failures. Trump, who wanted to be remembered as genius and savior, is left as punchline defendant and desperate showman. The memory sticks: chaos dressed as greatness reduced to failure dressed as farce.